Soon.
Eventually.
Anytime now. Let me sit down on my chair here first. And what happened to Dave Brown in this era? They didn't want to use him, or
I think the deal was he was on a different station.
oh, gotcha. Doing weather, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
He's like a real boy, you see.
yeah,
There's your man, Tony Friedman.
yeah. Uncle of Max.
I don't know about that.
Hmm.
There's the commandant.
Recon and the interrogator, the Truth Commission.
I think you would have really liked working with Kirk in there.
With me. Yeah, well, I just saw that footage that we showed up there. That
Here's the commandant.
Yes, Louisville.
And I just want to say, do you condone allowing members of the audience to come and interfere in a professional wrestling match? Are you sick?
No, you know that I don't condone that. We just got through saying we're not recommending that. But here's a guy that sat there, took all that he could take out of it. You guys were getting ready to burn an American flag. You took it away from somebody in the audience.
Who
and
kept on waving it in my face?
I don't recommend it, but I'll tell you one thing. He couldn't stand it. He was patriot enough not to let you do that.
I want to know something. Tell me, if you buy a ticket to go to a football match, do you suddenly run into the field to make an intercept?
Okay, I get your point. And you've got it where there's no question that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't run out on a football field or a baseball field or in the ring in a wrestling match. But here's a guy that's in the armed services himself, serving the country, and he couldn't stand to see you do what you did.
Let's just get beyond all this nonsense. Please, rubbish, please. But what I do know today is that this gentleman does not have a partner for our tag team match.
Everybody saw what happened to Paul Diamond out here just a little while ago, and I got a stinking feeling you're behind it, Commandant.
Stinking.
Everybody knows you're running with samples now. Well, that's fine and dandy, because everybody knows my history with these two goofs. And I'm not
That's
scared
Stephen
of them.
Dunn. What do you think of that haircut Stephen Dunn's sporting here?
It's like a Flying Brian type haircut from back in the day, isn't it?
Man, that is one of the most aggressive mullets
Yeah.
I remember seeing in all of wrestling.
Well, I have a stinking feeling it is.
Is that the most 80s phrasing of all time or what? Stinking feeling.
I have a stinking feeling.
Not a sinking feeling.
Mm,
Stinking feeling.
Mhm.
Stinking.
Yeah. Wow. And again, holy shit. We've had no wrestling.
Dude, I
none.
mean, almost none.
Yeah. Wow.
But don't worry, coming up, we're going to see fake Diesel versus fake Razor Ramon. So I know you'll be riveted by that.
I can't wait. I mean, the whole reason to put this show up here was to see a heel Vince McMahon. And right now I'm thinking that a heel Vince McMahon is going to save this show.
Well, I'll tell you this, he ain't going to hurt it.
Oh, here comes that kid again. Well, I'll be your partner. Yeah, put me in there. Oh, put me in there. Yeah, there's the ring right there. I'll go right there right now. Come on, get your beret wearing asses in there. Come on. I got jeans on. I don't give a shit. I know jeans will put you up against my nuts when I take a body slam. I don't care. Let's go. All right, here we go. Ready? Bring the motherfuckers on. Come on. Bring them on. Well, this is Lance Russell had been working for us prior to this.
That's right.
Because when I came back to WCW, he was there doing a lot for the 900 number. And so I guess during the Eric Bischoff era, he left. I can't remember when Lance left, but he did leave, I guess, and went back to Memphis. Or maybe he was doing Memphis at the same time. I don't know. But
boy, in 1997, can you imagine? And I say this respectfully because, boy, I love the independence and I love what independent wrestling does for young talent. But this is up against ECW, right after they've jumped on the pay-per-view train, because this is the end of May 1997, and they had their first pay-per-view in April of 97. April of 97, or the very end of March, is also where we had that incredible I Quit match at WrestleMania between Brett and Stone Cold. And you guys are knee deep in the NWO. like hanging around with Dennis Rodman at the pay-per-views and Crow Sting and the Diamond Cutter and that incredible feud that DDP had with Randy Savage. That's all happening at the same time this show we're watching is. And when you really think about comparing those products, it's no wonder that the end was near here for the territories, huh?
Yeah, this is the last. This is the end of it, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Got to give them credit. They were trying, but
no doubt.
Time had passed them by. Had passed them by with the internet and cable TV, and think of how much things have changed since then too. It's, I mean, now we got streaming services and
yeah,
and you can watch matches on your phone. It just it's amazing. It really is the technology. What technology has done for wrestling and what technology did to kill the territories. But independent wrestling still thrives, which is good.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's thriving, but it's still with us. It's still
okay. It's still with us.
Yes.
Okay. I guess some do thrive, don't they? Some do well.
I don't know that any independent organization is crushing it. I mean, I know that there are several that are doing well.
Okay.
But well is a relative term, I think. Like, unless you're like a Matt Cardona, where you're working nonstop and you're very innovative in your approach to merchandising and alternate revenue streams, I think most independent wrestlers either have a real gig or they're living pretty lean to chase that dream.
Yeah. Of course, the overhead has to be incredible. And what I mean by overhead is that if you bring someone in of name, and Tony Khan does allow our guys to wrestle independent shows when it's not in conflict with our TV shows. But if you bring in you're going to have to pay that big name to come in.
Yes. And their air and their hotel and
that's right.
Yeah.
Right. So you may get a deal. You may get a deal on the building. You may get a deal on everything else. But man,
yeah, a guy like Cardona, he's got it figured out. I hope that a lot of independent guys are following, his lead. And obviously, a lot of that was set in motion by Colt Cabana. Like, once upon a time, he was the most entrepreneurial person outside of a major company, and of course, he's doing a lot of other things these days, including AEW. But Cardona, man, he's the personification of that.
Yeah.